Hey everyone! If you're watching my channel for the first time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thrilling and emotional stories filled with suspense, drama, comedy, and love. Story title is A Boy Kidnapped Me and Then Took Me to a Hotel and Took Off My Dupatta and Made Me Lie Down on the Bed and Then. Story begins. My name is Aliyah Khan, and I live in Austin, Texas, a first-year law student with a strict routine, caffeine addiction, and absolutely zero time for nonsense. That's why what happened that rainy Friday night still feels like a scene out of a Netflix thriller. I had just left my campus library, walking toward the parking lot with my dupatta fluttering in the wind. Yes, I'm one of those Desi girls who still rocks traditional clothes even in the US. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a black SUV pulled up, tires screeching. Before I could react, a hand wrapped around my waist, pulling me in. A blindfold. Duct tape over my mouth. A hushed whisper. Don't scream. I'm not here to hurt you. Excuse me? I was kidnapped. The next thing I remember is the smell of citrus-scented air freshener, a luxury hotel room door slamming shut, and someone slowly removing the blindfold from my eyes. And there he was. Lucas Carter. Brown hair. Blue eyes. Dimples that could bankrupt a dentist. And probably the last person I ever thought would kidnap me. Lucas? I yelled, struggling in shock. Calm down, he said, removing the duct tape gently. You talk too much, Aliyah. Lucas Carter was the annoying, cocky guy from my criminal law class, who once poured cold coffee on my notes during a heated debate. And now he was standing in front of me, half smirking, half serious. He pointed to the bed. Lie down. You need rest. I blinked. What? Then, he did the most shocking thing. He removed my dupatta, folded it respectfully, and placed it on a nearby chair. I'm not a criminal, Aliyah. I'm trying to save your life. I was stunned into silence. Lucas explained. Apparently, someone was targeting girls from our law school who were researching a controversial case involving a local politician. My name had popped up on a list, along with 3 other students who had mysteriously gone missing. This is the safest place I could bring you, he said, pacing like a true law student preparing for a trial. I'm working undercover with my uncle, he's ex-FBI. You were next on their hit list. My head was spinning. You kidnapped me instead of telling me this in class? I snapped. Lucas grinned. Would you have believed me? Fair point. Thus began a wild, unbelievable weekend. From arguing over room service to falling into the bathtub during a heated debate, me, not him, to binge-watching courtroom dramas while plotting how to trap the real bad guys, Lucas and I went from enemies to uneasy allies. And then, something changed. That Sunday evening, while I was trying to balance a plate of nachos and my laptop, Lucas suddenly leaned close. Hey, he whispered, brushing a crumb from my cheek. What? I said, trying not to blush. You're kind of cute when you're plotting murder. Ugh, I rolled my eyes. You have a terrible sense of romance. But I have good timing. And before I could sass back, he leaned in. But before anything could happen. Knock knock knock. We both jumped. Lucas was on his feet in seconds. That's not room service. He peeked through the peephole and muttered a curse. It's Agent Walker. He's early. Agent who? A tall man in a navy suit entered, holding a laptop, coffee, and enough stress wrinkles to write a novel. You're Lucas Carter? He asked me. Wrong brown girl, I said, raising an eyebrow. I'm Aliyah. He's Lucas. I'm the kidnapped victim here. The agent looked between us and said bluntly, cute. You two are trending on Reddit. What? Agent Walker turned the laptop to show a security camera screenshot of us in the hotel lobby. Someone had posted it online with the caption, Couple goals or kidnapping gone romantic? I wanted to evaporate. Lucas chuckled. At least they got the romance part right. I smacked him with a pillow. The agent pulled out files, voice recordings, and photos of other missing students. One was taken just minutes before a girl named Nadia vanished, standing with the same suspicious man who had been hanging around our campus all week. My stomach dropped. "That guy," I whispered. "I've seen him outside the library." Walker nodded. "We think he's connected to a private security group hired by Senator Dutton, the one you were writing that paper about." Of course. The controversial senator facing secret corruption charges, which we were this close to exposing. Lucas looked at me. "We have to go back. To campus." My jaw dropped. "Go back? That's like running into a fire holding gasoline." He smiled mischievously. "But we'll look fabulous doing it." Cut 2. Us walking back onto campus in disguises, Lucas in nerd glasses and a Yale hoodie, me in a messy bun and Starbucks cup, classic undercover chaos. We snuck into the law library's archive section, where my notes and files were stored. But the moment we stepped inside, crash. The lights went out. The door slammed behind us. Footsteps. Slow. Heavy. Lucas pulled me behind a shelf, his arm protectively around me. Then a voice echoed through the dark. "You two should have stopped digging." My heart pounded. Lucas reached into his pocket and whispered, "Stay quiet. No matter what happens, don't move." I was about to ask why, when. Bang! I froze. Lucas shoved me behind a bookshelf, motioning to stay quiet. I could barely hear over the pounding in my ears. Footsteps approached. Slow. Calm. A voice echoed. "You should have stayed quiet, Aaliyah." My blood turned cold. I recognized that voice. Professor Henley. Our ethics and justice professor, the man who gave Lucas a C+ for using sarcasm in a legal essay. He stepped into the faint light from the emergency exit signs, holding a flashlight and something metallic in his hand. Lucas whispered, "Stay down." Then he stood up. Bold. Brave. Stupid. "Professor," Lucas said calmly, "this isn't the way to settle grades." Henley chuckled darkly. "This has nothing to do with grades. You both are liabilities." He took another step forward, and just then, Lucas reached into his coat and pulled out a taser. I gawked. "You carry a taser now?" He zapped it in the air. Law school survival kit. Before anything could happen, the sound of sirens blasted from outside. Red and blue lights flashed through the library windows. Henley's eyes widened. He dropped the metal object, it clattered to the floor, a key to some kind of locker, and bolted toward the emergency exit. Lucas grabbed my hand. "Come on." We ran through the side hallway, out a service door, and into the night rain, hearts racing. Outside stood Agent Walker, soaked and furious. "Do you two have a death wish?" he barked. I held up the locker key. "No, but we have evidence." Back in the hotel room. I stood in front of the mirror, hair drenched, mascara smudged, adrenaline still pumping. I held the key like it was made of gold. Lucas came out of the shower, wrapped in a towel, and paused. We locked eyes in the mirror. "Hey," he said gently, "you okay?" I turned to him, suddenly overwhelmed by everything, the danger, the mystery, the closeness. "I don't know what's happening anymore," I whispered. "Everything feels like a movie, but I'm scared." He stepped closer, wrapped a warm towel around my shoulders, and looked into my eyes. Good. Because only fools aren't scared when they're in love with someone who's about to blow up a conspiracy. I blinked. "Wait. What did you just say?" He froze. "Did I say that out loud?" A silence. Then, knock knock. This time, it was someone else. A woman's voice through the door. "Aaliyah Khan? I need to speak with you, alone. It's about your father." My eyes widened. "What?" Lucas whispered, "You never told me your dad was involved." I whispered back, "That's because I didn't know." I opened the door slowly. The woman stood tall, confident, in her 40s, wearing a black coat and a look that meant business. "My name is Diana Rains. FBI." She flashed her badge and stepped inside. Lucas straightened. "We already spoke to Agent Walker." She cut him off. "Walker's dead. Killed this morning." Silence. My knees buckled slightly, but Lucas caught me. Diana turned to me. "Your father was an investigative journalist. He was working on this same corruption case years ago before he disappeared." I froze. "I was told he died in a car crash." She shook her head. "It was staged. He survived. And now he's back. In hiding. But he sent me to get you." My head spun. Lucas grabbed the locker key. "What's in the locker?" Diana looked at us both, then smiled faintly. "The files your father spent years collecting. Everything, emails, photos, voice recordings. Enough to take down Senator Dutton and his entire network." We stared at each other. Lucas whispered, "This could change everything. Underscore 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 underscore." 3 days later. The story broke nationwide. Senator Dutton was arrested. Professor Henley was exposed as a paid informant. The missing students were found, hidden in safe houses, alive and waiting for protection before they could testify. And Lucas and I? We stood on the courthouse steps after the final trial, side by side, exhausted but smiling. "You know," I said, nudging him, "for someone who kidnapped me, you turned out pretty okay." He smirked. "For someone who tried to report me to campus security for breathing too loud in class, you're not bad either." We laughed. And then, right there in the golden afternoon sun, he kissed me. No chaos. No fear. Just peace. Underscore 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 underscore. 1 month later. I received a postcard. No return address. Just 4 words. "I'm proud of you, Dad." I held it close, tears in my eyes. Lucas walked in, saw the card, and didn't say a word. He just hugged me. The lesson. Sometimes, life throws you into the darkest situations to help you discover your strength, and the people who were meant to walk beside you. Whether it's love, courage, truth, or justice, never stop fighting for what's right, even when it feels dangerous. And always remember, the person you least expect might just be the one who saves your life, and steals your heart. Thank you for watching this story till the very end. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more powerful stories like this one. See you in the next adventure.